Hi everyone. I'm your host Yasmin Fahmy. Welcome to another 10 Newark creators interview on Instagram Live. We're off to a little bit of a late start today, but that's okay. That's life. Today I'm interviewing vegan entrepreneur and hospital chaplain Mira Abou Elezz, who I'm going to bring into the room right now. Hi everyone. It's great to see all your comments. And ooh, so many. Okay, it's getting hard to keep track now. Hi, Isaiah. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Eamon. Now if I could just get Mira into the room with me. Hi, Jess. Okay, let me see if oh, here we go. Cool. All right, should be joining any minute. So yeah, I think most of you know 10 Newark Creators is a series where we interview Newark-based artists, entrepreneurs, health workers about their craft. And there you are. Hi.
What up? What up? Hi. So sorry.
It took a minute to get all that
Traffic.
working.
Yeah, I know.
I know you literally just got into your house.
Yeah, literally just sat in the
I'm so
chair.
glad we were able to get you. So let's just get started with how was your day? Tell me about your day because it sounds like it was a little crazy.
Oh man, my day. It started off rough, but it ended good, and I think that that's one of the benefits of like being a chaplain is that like you never know when you're gonna have like that encounter with a patient that's just gonna like turn your day around. So alhamdulillah was like the last person I saw, and I just like I don't know, we just like really vibed, and I mean I feel like they helped me as much as I helped them, you know, because
Yeah.
I was feeding each other's souls, like as like cliche and corny as it sounds. But yeah, you know, I just I felt better after.
Yeah. I'm so glad to hear that. And I know it was recently, I have to say happy birthday before I forget because I know your birthday was this weekend.
Yeah,
Everyone,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
everybody gets one weird COVID birthday. That's like this whole year, everyone's having like really weird COVID birthdays. So did you get to do anything?
Yo, I mean, I had a good birthday, you know, and like at the beginning of like quarantine and stuff, I was like, oh, it sucks for all the people whose birthdays are now, like not thinking that it was still gonna be like weird, you know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I had a good birthday. We like drove around the city because like it's really crowded these days, so
Oh, wow.
we have to like stay protected.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
That's tough.
yeah, weird. But I got a lot of love from like family and tips.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So, so let's back up a little bit because I think there might be a lot of I think a lot of people on the stream are probably know you, but for folks who aren't familiar, maybe you can give us like the 5 minute spiel about like how you grew up and how you arrived at chaplaincy and what it even is. Because I think when you first told me that term, I was like not sure what that meant. I thought I thought it could be like something related to like religious worship or I was like I'm not totally clear what that means, so maybe you can kind of give us like a summary of that.
Yeah. Um, so I grew up in Kentucky. I was like, you know, Muslim in a very white world. So, you know, already like the Muslim, like religion was just such a big deal. In my life growing up like that because we were taught that we were different. Um, and then we moved to Saudi when I was in high school. And so all of a sudden I went from being like a major minority to like part of the majority, which was so weird, like culturally or like religiously. And I got to like explore, I guess, different aspects of my, or I guess one aspect of my faith when I was in Saudi, and that being like just like a very literal religious, Sunni specific Islam, right? And there was like plenty of literature, but all the literature was like from specific schools of thought.
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, I went to Hajj, came back like thinking that I was like a sheikha, you know what I mean? Like just like totally like, devout, whatnot. And then came to Jersey to attend Rutgers for university. And that's where I studied religion academically. And that's where I kind of, I guess, relearned everything that I thought I already knew. So all the answers that I had were thrown out the window, and I began my spiritual journey at that point. Um, and I continued on to get my master's in religion. And while I was writing my thesis, I met a chaplain who was actually working at a federal prison. He was like, "Do you want to come see what's up? Just talk to the inmates." There's a lot of Muslim inmates, obviously, lots of Muslims in prison. So I was like, all right, bet, let's do it. And I did. And I just felt like that connection. I felt like I was connecting with my people in a way that I wouldn't be able to, like, in a job elsewhere,
Mm-hmm.
like my passions connected. Like I studied psych and religion, and they kind of fused into something called spiritual care. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was just kind of like I was on the path to chaplaincy from there. Did my training in LA, got married, came back to the East Coast because for some reason I can't escape it. And now I'm here doing it professionally.
So, so it was great to hear all that, and it gives a lot of depth and color to your life experience. What, on a day-to-day basis, does chaplaincy look like? Like when you go in, are you assigned, is it like a nurse where you're like assigned, certain patients or certain cases, and then you're kind of just engaging with those for a certain period of time, or how does it work?
So I'm at two different spots. Every institution has like its own different way of going about things. I'm at Sloan in New York, which is a cancer center. So there I'm like assigned, I have two units that I focus on. We get referrals daily. So I have to see all my referrals that are on my units. And then I have to be there for emergency situations where like if there's a death, if there is a family that like really needs support. And the referrals are from people who either said themselves that they want spiritual care or somebody from their clinical team was like they could benefit from spiritual care.
Mm-hmm.
My other job is at a behavioral health facility in Princeton. And so they're all dealing with mental illness and addiction. So there, I think the majority of what I do there is like running the groups because there's a lot of groups. And then one-on-ones are really just coming from the patient or from social workers who think that they could benefit from a visit from a chaplain.
Mm-hmm.
So, the conversations are kind of different from the cancer
Mm-hmm.
center and the rehab, but that's kind of like the systems that I work with.
Yeah, yeah.
Refer, yeah.
So those are two very different universes. Were those both affected by the pandemic in the same way, or or was one space much more affected and then the other, how did that look and how did you navigate it?
Oh man. Um, we went like straight virtual, like when New York was the epicenter, and they were so worried at the cancer center that we would get our patients sick. They're already sick, so it was like hyper precautions. So we went to just like telechaplaincy at the very beginning when everybody was in lockdown,
Mm-hmm.
and that was an interesting dynamic shift. It was just a lot of phone calls, like a lot of trying to do like my work over the phone, which was weird because like I used to touch people. I know it sounds weird, but I like touch people a lot when we're like together,
Yeah.
like consensually. Just because like I feel like part of like caring for people just like holding their hand if you like say a prayer for them, or like, you know, touching them on the shoulder, just like offering some like, you know, warmth. And even now that we're back to visiting patients in person, it's just very distant because like I'm wearing a shield and a mask, and it's just like my
Yeah.
like fogging up, and I can't touch people, and it's like, you know what, maybe phone calls are actually better than this. Like, I don't know. I feel like spiritual care is so important right now, but like there's so much lacking. Um, you know, like at a time that we need it most. Like it's kind of painful.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there, without revealing too much information, obviously, are there specific moments where you really felt like I cannot do my work, or like this is not working, or like a low point through the summer, or
Um, yeah, like I felt like you know, like pouring from an empty cup. Like I was like, how am I supposed to like do this? Um, but you know what really kind of brought me back was like just knowing that people were suffering losses of their close ones and not even being able to go see them, not even being able to go grieve. And I think that us as a nation haven't even mourned all of our dead yet. Like we've just skirted over it. And like, and I just, I think that that's so unfair and so mean to so many people that like it kind of brings back life and purpose to like my work, you know?
mm-hmm.
It pulled me out of it in a way.
Yeah. Has there been a day or a moment that has been particularly hopeful, or, on the flip side of that, positive, uplifting? Um,
Um, okay, so the hopeful things that I've noticed are institutionally, like Sloan has been like going through an awakening, and now we have like these like racial awareness type webinars like every week as an institution, talking about the healthcare discrepancies between people, right?
mhm,
Based on race. And they're making changes in like their leadership because like they're being like, yeah, we recognize like we're really white and we're trying to like change that, and they're having like town halls and like open meetings. So I've been trying to be a part of that as much as possible. And it's really nice to see that from like a big, you know, rich white institution. That's been
mhm.
kind of hopeful, right? Um, in terms of the sickness, I mean, the people at that hospital are still suffering. They're just suffering from cancer. So like to them, it's like the pandemic is just like an added worry, you know, like it's already a bad situation health wise, and now it's just like even kind of scarier. But I don't know, like people are still people. Like I've spoken
Mhm.
with very sick people who are like inspiring to me. Like they might, like I'll call them and they'll be in a better mood than I am, you know. So I'm just like, people just they just want to be shown love, you know. And at the behavioral health facility I get that a lot. Like whenever I'm really giving out love, I get it back, and it just like it just becomes like a beacon of hope. Like because it seems so hopeless these days, especially if you're keeping up with the news.
Mhm.
Like it feels so bad. It feels so bad,
It's
but
hard.
then one-on-one interactions with people really kind of restore faith for me in
Mhm.
humanity.
Yeah, in some ways, I think that is what we all need, and it's so hard when you're sort of like on your own island and you can't really like see or touch anyone. And so as much of that as you can get and give is like that's putting good energy into the world, I think. So so I think we can pivot a little bit because we sort of started off with this. You lead kind of these two lives. You're also a vegan entrepreneur here in Newark. Um, Talk to me about, did you pick up veganism along the way in along that journey of spirituality, or was that something that was kind of separate, or how did you come upon that?
I would say it's been reinforced by my spirituality. It's been about like 4 or 5 years ago is when I began like, the just like plant-based diet. Um, and I think that for me, it was just like the more I learned about factory farming. And so, okay, so this is actually what triggered it. I in college was like really anti-capitalist. And the factory farming aspect of it is what really got me. It's like these big companies that are profiting off of like torturing animals and just like breeding them for mass production of meat. And this mass produced meat is not only bad for you and your health, it's bad for the environment. Like it's like one of the leading causes of climate change. So I
Hmm.
was like, no, I don't want to partake in this anymore. To be completely honest, I'm like more flexible with my diet now than I was before. And I've come to kind of like the moral conclusion that like I will not support this industry with my money, but if I'm in somebody's house, I'm going to eat what they're offering me.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, that's kind of where I stand now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that. And that's a big part of the reason that I try to avoid as much meat as possible is it has to do with that climate change element and it's actually more effective than like not driving a car and taking like public transport is cutting meat out of your diet. I'm not sure if everybody knows that, but facts today. um, so so I think Vegan X Mira started not too long after that. How did you come up with the idea for that, and what were your goals with it?
Um, so it's been a little over 2 years. It's been like on like kind of a hiatus ever since the pandemic, for obvious reasons. But I just wanted to feed people. Like, I just love cooking, and it's a way that I express my love and affection for others. And I've always been very resourceful. So I found that as I came into like kind of a more restricted diet, I became more creative with the dishes that I was making, and when I had a garden to grow vegetables in, I was like, wait, I can just make vegan food with the ingredients that are in my backyard for the
Hmm.
community. It's never really been like a for-profit type
Hmm.
business. Like I wouldn't really call myself like I like respect and am so flattered and complimented to be called a small business owner, but it's not even at that scale. Do you know what I mean? Like it's really
Hmm.
for community events, pop-ups, like I've done like some, deliveries, and then I was like, I'm not doing deliveries anymore. But like hyper local stuff, and it's really just like a way of getting people involved in something that I love, and to have access to like some affordable vegan food if they want it, if they want it from like somebody from the neighborhood.
Yeah. You mentioned a backyard garden. So I had the privilege of seeing it this summer, but can you tell everyone what you were growing back there and how that contributed to your recipes or what you ended up making?
Well, well, well. We're gonna take a little tour. It's kind of a mess right now because the winter and the rain. But we'll
I
see
was
what
gonna
I
say, is there
can.
still anything growing or?
There's actually stuff still alive, which is great. And we have like a very unique problem where like our tomato plant is so alive that it got too big and like toppled over. So let me show
Oh
you.
no.
So this is our tomato plant. It is very strong.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
it's still going.
it used to be standing, but now it's not. But we have many tomatoes like still growing on the vines. I think you can see a few
Yeah.
from here. Um, so yeah, there's some more.
Is this your first gardening season?
No. second. Me and Eamon are just like experimenting and learning each time. This is what's called Chinese spinach with the little purple in it. It's edible, and we use it in our salads. These are flowers. These are marigolds, which my friend JV actually told me is also called calendula and is very good for skin. So this is very important to keep in mind for something that I'm going to tell you guys about Vegan by Mira in a second. These are cabbages.
Oh
Big,
my
big
God, they're
cabbages.
huge.
Yeah. And this is our zucchini plant. The zucchinis should be growing from those little flowers. So I don't
Oh, very
know,
cool.
yeah, how far they're gonna get. That's it.
Yeah, you got a lot going on.
Oh, we have also just like, the herbs, basil, and I have some rosemary hiding back there, and of course, mint from Palestine.
I love
And green beans. I don't know if you can see. There it is. It's a purple green bean.
Oh, can you call it that, or is it a purple bean then?
I have no idea. I guess it's
So, so you're cooking with these ingredients on like a daily basis. So you're making salads, you're making like soups or tea,
yes.
or what else are you making with this stuff?
Salads, soups, those are my jam. Curries. I'm gonna try the marigold in tea, like you just mentioned, and see how that turns out. I'm also gonna start using well, since like I said, like the food thing has kind of been like not so safe right now to like
Hmm.
be sending out food and stuff. So I think what I'm gonna start doing is making beauty and wellness products with the
Wait, is
same
this,
ingredients.
are we jumping ahead to the announcement?
We are. This is it.
Okay,
This,
go ahead. Give us the pitch.
so I'm using the same ingredients that I used in my vegan dishes for completely organic, good for you, safe beauty and wellness products. Now I have a few prototypes that I would like to share
Oh, I'd love to see
that
them.
I've been using personally to test them out for you guys. So this is um, a skin hydrator and also a hair detangler. So it's good for skin and hair. It's really just coconut oil and filtered water. And I love it.
It goes everywhere.
It goes all over here in this area. um, this is a hair like hydration and growth oil that I've also been using.
Ooh, I would need that, yeah.
So I put rosemary in here for the growth, and then it just, drops, drops, drops. And it has like a whole bunch of different oils in it.
Are you researching kind of like the
What?
medicinal properties of each
Hmm.
herb and as you're kind of building everything out?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I've just kind of been exploring, researching, and like testing out a few products so far. Like I mentioned, the marigolds are going to be dried up and used in some of in some of the skin products because it's good for hydrating and healing skin.
Hmm.
So I am putting it out there to you all. If you're interested in either one of the things that I showed, let me know. Or if you want to like build something custom and you have specific issues that you want to address, then we can like create a formula for you.
Oh, that's exciting. So you do like kind of, yeah, like consults with people who I could probably use that. I could use a skin something.
All right, let's talk about it, girl. Let's get you glowed up.
So where can people go if they're interested either in um, catering by Vegan X Mira or if they're interested in these kind of new skincare products?
So I can put like my Instagram handle for that page right in the comments.
Oh yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, it's just at Vegan X Mira. And yeah, just DM me there or email me straight from there. That goes to like my business email. Um, and if you want to talk, spirituality, you can hit me up here on this page or my email, which I'll also put in the chat.
Awesome. So we got a few minutes left. So I'm going to ask you, are there any other, I like to ask this at the end of each interview, are there any projects that have been kind of brewing or they're on the back burner and you haven't quite gotten to them? We like to hear like aspirational stuff.
Uh, I kind of jumped the gun on that one, didn't I?
Oh no, it's okay. Was that it? That was more skincare
That,
products, more.
yeah. I'm really excited about it. The beauty wellness products. It's the next move for Vegan by Mira. I okay, so this is something that I'm really interested in, and maybe we can make a reality together. But I'm interested in doing like an independent chaplaincy for people, and not just institutions. So when I have more details about that, I'll put that out there. But like, if you are in need of just somebody to talk to give you offer some spiritual guidance, a prayer, whatever it might be, like hit me up. And we'll work something out. Like I'm here for y'all.
Oh, that's what the world needs right now. So I'm glad you're saying that. And before we wrap, what's one message that you want to give to everybody watching? Kind of maybe a message of hope, positivity.
Take care of your soul, please. Do good things for yourself. Seriously, and be gentle on yourself. It is a rough time, and I don't care who's trying to pretend like it's business as usual. It's not. It is a rough, hard time, and you're doing so great for just surviving it. So do something good for yourself, be gentle on yourself, and start every day with your intention and some gratitude.
Hmm. What a beautiful way to end. Yeah, I think this is the perfect stopping point. I hope everyone has taken something positive and hopeful from this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you making time for this.
Yeah.
And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too, Yasmin. And
All right,
to
bye bye.
13 of you.
I know, they're out there. All right, that's it for us, everybody. Tune in next Tuesday at 6 p.m. We're interviewing Adam Burgo, who is a entrepreneur behind Black Swan Espresso on Halsey Street. He's also a music maker. And of course, follow JPAC here and on Facebook and Twitter to stay in touch with everything we are doing. Thanks, everyone, and thank you, Mira. Have a good night.
Night.